What's that one yarn that's been in your stash for basically forever? I have that, and I think I finally figured out what I'm going to do with it. Hi, my name is Sarah. This is Sarah Sparkle Yarns. If you have come for all things fiber, yarn, and sparkle, this is the place. If you want to bookmark my channel to come back and see more videos and you don't want to lose me in the shuffle, that is, click that subscribe button. I've had this one particular yarn for forever, and I made this back in 2015, and it was a reblend of a braid I had picked up from, I believe they are Busy Bee fibers in their colorway Constellation. I kind of forget. Oh, I remember now. I believe the fiber was Corriedale, so it's not as soft as merino, in my opinion, but it is quite soft enough, and it turned out lovely. I really like the colors of this fiber. So what I decided to do was take the fiber braid and blend it into individual colors to make rolags. I also blended some sparkle into it, and the yarn has the first time I ever used some glow-in-the-dark fiber. And I've actually used 3 different varieties of glow-in-the-dark fiber since then, and all 3 have had but they all definitely glow. This particular type kind of resembles the feel and stable length of cotton. It was very, very fine, very short stapled, but it was really cool. And this particular yarn was one of the first times I figured out and kind of learned and taught myself through the help of one of the copies Ply magazine how to spin a thin single weight for just really thin, and this is basically how I was managed to learn up on the technique of spinning thin singles so I could make basically like size 4 thicknesses of yarn when I do chain ply, because that's the only 3-ply method I work on. This particular yarn is definitely a 2-ply, and I remember that I actually took one set of singles and spun that, and then I filled up a bobbin of another, and I managed to 2-ply the 2 bobbins together, and I didn't have too much left over. That was just the one, and I kind of wish I would have chain plied the little itty bitty tiddly bit I had left over, but it is what it is. And so I've actually had this really cool and amazing looking purple yarn since 2015, and I didn't really have a good idea of what kind of project I wanted until now. Now I could still change my mind at any point, and it might happen, but once I get done with one of my sweaters, I think I'll probably table this one until I finish up at least maybe 2 to 3 of the planned sweaters I got, because one, that'll give me enough time to really think about and do some planning on if this is really where I want to go with this project, and 2, if I go with my plan, which is to make a thin kind of t-shirt like sweater shirt thing, that'll be best of project for really cold winter months, because by then I'll have warmer sweaters. I won't be struggling to get a warm sweater knitted up and created in the winter months when I could just be working on that objectively won't be nearly as. Now, the yarn that I am currently spinning, that you can see the type of main or B-roll footage, the main spinning on my e-spinner here, that is the purple and pink fiber that I actually blended up on my hackle and dizzed up, or combed onto my hackle and then dizzed off, and it was actually spinning up very well. And I quite like using the hackle to really fine, easy blends, because those work really good for getting really fine yarns for the control aspect of them. And I quite like that because it works out so well. And so I just created a small handful of this yarn, which it was definitely enough to put onto my my 2-ply tool, which is this pink Andean plying bracelet template helper, so I don't have to wind it onto my hand, because that can be a pain. And I basically took that yarn and applied it onto my e-spinner, and it was so fun. It was very sparkly. My current sweater project that I'm still working, it just, wow. I wish I could sit and knit all day, but I don't have that luxury at this time. So it's taking its time, even though I can knit it pretty quickly. That one's going well, and I'm excited to get the next sweater going, obviously. I feel like that the next sweater, it will be a little bit more engaging and a little bit less monotonous because I'll be switching between different types of yarns and it's more mentally intense for the process. Right now, this is just, I could literally close my eyes and take a nap and knit up until hopefully it gets to be the length that I want it to be. It's in considering the different ways I could use this yarn into making a lightweight sweater, which is what I probably definitely gonna do, that I am now considering all the different yarns in my stash, and now I apparently want to make all the sweaters. So with that, the count is currently 2 purple sweaters, the one I'm currently working on, the one I had the yarns planned from the previous video this week, the black rainbow type yarn sweater. I have another rainbow yarn that could be a pretty cool sweater. I have a set of dyed yarns that I dyed in autumnal colors. I have 3 of those that could make a very interesting shrug depending on how much yarn that takes. I also have some more rainbow dyed yarn, and I even apparently have the idea to make a green sort of sweater along with an art sweater that is going to incorporate a lot of deep sea types of colored spun up and dyed yarns, and that's going to be pretty fun too. I've got a lot to knit and a lot to make. With these planned projects, there's quite a few of them. I think a really cool way to showcase all my projects that I'm planning and have worked on is to actually utilize my Ko-Fi link a bit more. That has the blogging capabilities to it, and if I give that like a sense of purpose, I feel like I'll be more inclined to actually use it for something cool, because it would be really neat to have all of my projects in one place to show off. Plus, if you like what I do, you could check that out and maybe support the channel. And if not, leave a like. That definitely supports the channel, and I love to hear what y'all like to talk about. I like to hear what y'all think of the stuff I put out and everything. And with that, go make something sparkle and have an awesome day, night, wherever you may be. Till next time, take care.